Hi guys, I'm Lisa and welcome back to What the Bake. If this is your first time tuning in, be sure to hit the subscribe button and you can see all my new videos. I post once every Thursday. This week we will be attempting a popular Instagram trend and something I've always wanted to try, a succulent cake. So I'm going to teach you guys how we can use buttercream icing to create beautiful flowers and succulents. Without further ado, let's get baking. We will first start by baking our cake. In a mixing bowl, beat the butter until it is light and creamy. Then you can add the sugar and mix again until all the ingredients are well combined. We can then add our eggs, mix well. Lastly, we will add flour, vanilla, and milk. You can prepare your baking pan with some baking paper and baking spray. I decided to bake my cakes in two separate pans. This allowed the cakes to bake quicker. Next, we'll move on to the buttercream icing. In a bowl, beat the butter until it is creamy and pale in color. Have half of your icing sugar and beat until the icing sugar starts to dissolve. Add the rest of your icing sugar and a little bit of vanilla. This will normally be the part where I would tell you guys to add a little bit of milk to your icing to make it a more pipeable consistency. But in order for us to pipe our beautiful flowers and succulents, our icing needs to be really stiff. So we are not going to add milk right now. Instead, we're going to separate our icing. One batch we're going to keep to build our cake, and that one we will add a little bit of milk, and then the other batch is going to have no milk, and we're going to use that to decorate. This will be the icing that we're going to use to build our cake, so you can add a little bit of milk. Then we can start stacking our cake. For this, it will be really useful if you have a turntable, an offset spatula, and a cake scraper. For this cake, I wanted to try the naked cake style. So we are not going to add a lot of buttercream icing to this cake. We're only going to cover it with a crumb coat. So that means we want to cover our cake with just enough buttercream icing to lock in all the crumbs into the cake. But we still want to see a little peekaboo of the actual cake. Then we're going to use the icing that we set aside for decorating. We're going to divide them into 5 bowls, and then we're going to color them in different shades of green, a little bit of purple and pink. To pipe our beautiful succulent flowers, we will need this cake decorating nail and a small piece of baking paper. For this cactus, I decided to use a WILTON 8B nozzle tip. To create a beautiful flower, I'm using the WILTON 102 piping nozzle. If you guys struggle making your flowers a little bit, don't feel bad. The more you practice, the better you'll become. And if you make a mistake, you can just scrape off the icing and put it back into the piping bag, and then you can try again. If I can give you guys one more tip, try and keep the room where you are decorating as cold as possible. This will help that the icing doesn't melt. And then for this last one, I used a WILTON 66 nozzle tip. Put all your beautiful flowers and succulents in the fridge so that we can keep them as cold as possible before we put them on our cake. Using your offset spatula, you can place all your beautiful flowers and succulents on top of your cake. And you guys can have a lot of fun with this. There's no right or wrong way. Then you can use some of your excess buttercream to fill in all the gaps. For some extra detail, you can add a few sprinkles. And a cute little flower on top. I decided to add a few little sprinkles at the bottom of the cake just to finish it off. And there you guys have it, my version of a naked succulent cake. Now I really hope you guys give this a try and play around with buttercream icing to create beautiful flowers and succulents. If you guys like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Have fun baking!